listener, are you third from the sun? Because you rock.
Oh,
For listening to us, Sync Floyd, the podcast where we watch every damn thing under the sun to see if it syncs up with Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler, and I'm staring at my Ouija board, I've summoned a demon. His name is James Barron. Sorry, James.
Oh,
How are you?
revealing my name to the audience so I'm trapped forever and bound to do their bidding. Gareth. Oh my gosh, this is the worst nightmare for a demon. And that is so appropriate because it's Halloween. Oogie boogie, listeners. How's it going? I'm here to talk to you about what we do on our Halloween specials on the show because it takes some explaining.
Do you want to field this one? Because I actually don't know how to explain this.
All right, so last year we watched a seminal TV episode from Gareth's childhood that scared him deeply about disguised aliens that freaked him out. And so I thought, wow, have I nailed down this theme perfectly? I think so. Let's do a TV show about disguised aliens because I chose Third Rock from the Sun. Not season 3, episode 2 like we did last year, but season 2, episode 25, the episode before the season finale. Yeah, but I chose it because it was another TV show from my childhood wherein I have a memory of getting the 3D glasses along with the TV guide and getting very, very excited for this episode because it was going to feature 3D or 3D effects throughout that would be improved by the 3D glasses. Yeah. And I remember being incredibly disappointed. But however, we are revisiting that childhood memory. I wasn't actually scared by this, but it does feature nightmares. So we're pretty on brand, I think. I think this is all right. You know? What are your thoughts, Gareth, having watched A Nightmare on Dick Street Part 1?
Well, I remember this promotion as well.
Yeah.
The 3D glasses. But my family didn't get the TV guide, so we just didn't watch it. Or didn't watch Third Rock that night. We watched something else. I've always had so much TV guide envy. My grandparents would always get the TV guide. And if I went over and visited, they'd get it a week in advance, so there would be 2 fresh issues for me to read.
Hell yeah.
And I would read the local TV news, the gossip.
Yep.
Skim through the listings. Mainly, I'd skim to just look at what my grandparents had circled, like they were going to watch, and just be like, oh, cool, okay.
Wow.
Cool. Nana's watching this. That's good to know.
Coro again. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair play, Nana. It's not like you're going to forget what time it's on, but I like that you're circling it.
Oh, you gotta. And after that would come a kids page, which is usually like some puzzles, spot the difference.
Yes, I remember this.
A word find. Always great. And then the juiciest section was the complaints. The complaints were so good. It was exclusively about the fact that the ads were too loud. Every week, like 3 letters about ads being too loud, interrupting and ruining my Judge Judy experience. And then there would be something like complaining about the plot in an American show, like the TV guy can do anything about it.
That rules.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If I want anyone yelling at me, I want it to be Judy. I don't want it to be the bloody bedpost lady or whatever it is. You know, I don't need her yelling at me. Gosh, Briscoe's lady, get out of here. Man, that is a great visceral memory of the TV guide.
Yeah.
I also didn't get the TV guide growing up, but I got it especially this one time, especially for to watch this episode because I really liked Third Rock from the Sun growing up. I thought it was a very fun, silly show that it was like, it's like a weirdly sexual show, but whatever. But like, I really enjoyed it growing up as a little kid. I thought there was like, because it's just like adults acting like silly kids a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, sorted out, especially to watch this ep, and was pretty disappointed by the 3D effects. I thought it was going to blow my little mind, but
Oh yeah.
never mind.
Well, it's like when Avatar came out and we thought like 3D was gonna be this whole new thing, and then you just kind of like, oh yeah, it's a little deeper than a normal screen goes.
Yeah. You know, it didn't rock everybody's world in the way that old James Cameron was hoping, but never mind.
Arguably, though, made a bigger splash than this episode.
I mean, fair. Apparently, this was a gimmick that a lot of shows were doing at the time, just because they...
Yes.
It was like the red-blue glasses were issued, and I feel like it's a holdover from the 1980s where they were trying to do this all the time.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't work as well. The effects that they use throughout the show, I'm just going to get into it now because I have notes on this, but it's like they make all the they make things very dark. It's a lot of blacks and whites. The contrast is like amped up massively, and then things are sort of like warped on screen slightly, so that when you're wearing the red and blue glasses, it feels like the lighter things are more in the foreground, which is interesting. Like it doesn't, your brain sort of tricks you into thinking it's 3D when it actually isn't at all. So yeah, it's like a magic eye kind of situation.
Yeah,
and I suppose that's all 3D is in general. It's just that the technology's gotten better over time. But yeah. It's not awful. I wish I had $3. I wish I had $3 to buy some 3D glasses, Gareth. But I'm bloody skint, and I could have tested this episode, but I didn't do that. I just watched it with my regular eyeballs. All right, that I plucked from a jar.
Your dang 2D eyes.
Yeah. All right.
Well, it's interesting. So this episode and its follow-up, the budget for these episodes ended up being $10 million.
Holy fucking shit. That is so much.
To be honest, right? The average sitcom episode does add up usually to be about $1 million.
Really?
Like, something this big, I think, at the time would have. This is all according to two articles. One that was clearly just copy and pasting the previous one. But so the actual production cost of making these episodes was, I think, $1.5 million. The rest was exclusively trying to get these glasses to everyone.
I mean, that in itself was impressive. That's probably the most impressive part.
Right?
I feel like these glasses would sell for a fair bit now if you could find them. They were just made out of cardboard, but they had the branding of Third Rock from the Sun printed on them. And they they folded out of the TV guide and you could just have them. They were great.
Ooh.
I think I definitely had them in my lounge for the following 4 years or something.
Just in case something 3D happens.
Yeah, but no, it never did again. This was the death knell for on television 3D until
it really was.
Avatar rounded it, loomed its ugly head in 2009. Should we talk about this crazy TV episode and again try and fill our... Last time we were doing this, by the way, our episodes were probably around max an hour long.
Yeah.
We have extended out to... We have been resting on our laurels and now our episodes are closer to 2 hours, which is epic length. So... It's going to be interesting to see. I think I said this last year, but it's going to be interesting to see what flies on this episode.
Yeah. What strangely would have been cut from a different one that still makes it into this one.
Oh, yeah. It's
maybe just a few failed bits from other episodes just gets edited in for no reason.
I like that, little cutaway gags. Just when you get an ad break in this sure to be plot dense episode of Sync Floyd. You just hear us failing to get through a bit. Oh my god. Amazing. I can't wait. Look forward to that. Oh.
Yeah. Yikes.
But yeah, should we talk about the sweet, sweet ep of primetime TV, Gareth?
Heck yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we start off though, actually, by talking about our relationships with Third Rock from the Sun? Were you a fan of the show outside of watching this one episode? Did you watch very much? I've revealed mine.
I think I was always a little bit disappointed it wasn't as much aliens as I wanted it. Like, I would have loved this episode if we'd got the TV guide, because it had all this cool, freaky stuff. But yeah, I was always like, oh, okay, they're just kind of going about human stuff. Like, occasionally when there's like a bigger space plot, I'd be more interested. But I don't think you ever see them as aliens, right?
No, yeah. That's the bit. You don't ever see their true alien forms. It's just them exploring what humanity is like from an alien perspective. That's the bit that gets explored like time and time again on the show. And it definitely, this bit has a lot of legs. Like, this show ran for like 7 seasons, I think. So up until 2001. So it bloody ages. But yeah, like no real alien-y stuff happens. Sometimes you get some special effects in there, but not too much, you know. I think the closest we get is literally in this episode. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get there though.
Yeah. I will say though, it did make me an early adopter, an early person on the GJL train. Joseph Gordon-Levitt train. I was
JGL.
Like, as a kid, I was just like, this guy is the coolest guy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see him hang out with Batman or dance on a street or have his heart broken by the girl from that Offspring video that would have come out around the same time.
Yeah.
It's, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will this guy be a music teacher? Maybe. Will this guy be a, like, high schooler who talks like a noir film? Probably. Will he ride a bike? I bet. I'm going to follow this guy and all his moves.
Wow. They're very informative. See, I was that way, but with French Stewart, and it got me this far, so...
No!
I'm just obsessed with Inspector Gadget, Gareth, that's all.
He wasn't Inspector Gadget.
He was in Inspector Gadget 2, Gareth, the direct-to-video sequel, have you know?
Whoa, I'm so sorry. I totally was. I'm seeing that poster in my head now.
Yep. He had a robot dog. It's a terrible film. Anyway.
Wow. I'm always so happy to see him in something. It always leads to me Googling, was that French Stewart? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. If you're asking yourself, is that French Stewart? Most likely, yes, because there's no one else that looks like French Stewart.
He's definitely like in the family of the two leads from Will and Grace, though. The two male leads.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, actually.
Yeah. They've got the same hairstylist.
Yes. But he has an essence to him that you can always spot him from the lineup, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, yes. All right, let's talk about this cast, because this cast is like pretty stacked. Because we've got French Stewart, we've got JGL, we've got John Lithgow as Dick Solomon, the dad of the group and High Commander of the aliens. He's great. Love John Lithgow in like basically everything that he's in. Lord Farquaad, can't get enough. And he's just like hamming it up constantly on Third Rock. It's the John Lithgow show, Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's just him just having the best time.
Yeah.
And we got Kristen Johnston as Sally Solomon as well, who is also having a wonderful time. Just being this like powerhouse. I think she's the like weapons specialist of the alien crew, and so she's like supposed to be this like super tough guy, but is inhabiting a woman's body. And like over the course of the show becomes like more and more into being a woman. Which is interesting and like probably not too great looking back on it now. Like that's super stuck in the 90s, but like I don't know, I feel like it handled it probably more delicately than many other 90s shows. But yeah, that's the core crew. We've also got Jane Curtin as Dr. Albright, who's our like straight man effectively, but like also is very manic and sort of like has terrible panic attacks throughout the whole show. about these
Yeah.
aliens' crazy antics, basically. And that's a.
Does she ever find out they're aliens?
I think she does, like, right at the end, like
okay.
season finale, series finale. I think she finds out, but like, doesn't want to believe it. I can't really remember the end of the show. I'm not gonna lie. I probably had stopped watching by the time it finished. But
yeah, you probably just heard it in passing on the playground how it ended.
yeah, I think so. But yeah, yeah. We'll say yes that she eventually finds out.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Let's enough preamble. Enough. We've got to get to the Oogie Boogie Spooks, Gareth, of this of this show. Yeah. So the episode starts with a direct call out to the audience, being like, "Hey, this is the one where you need your 3D glasses, guys," because Dick receives 3D glasses, not 3D glasses, X-ray specs through the mail. As we're hearing the heartbeats in Speak to Me, here we go. And yeah, he's using them to like perv on Nina, as played by Simbi Carey, who's like the assistant in the office. I don't really know her deal, but she's another recurring character. Bit weird, but I think this is like the only tie-in to having the 3D glasses as well, having these like X-ray specs, which is bizarre. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. And they use it on a joke that, like, for someone who hasn't watched the show in years, dipping in, if this is supposed to be your hero, and this is the joke that he's trying to perv on his employees, I'm like, uh-oh. That's something truly scary for Halloween.
Yeah. Absolutely. The 90s was a different time. Ooh. Yeah. And a couple of other Dick's colleagues come in, and Judith and Mary, Dr. Albright, arrive. And Mary has won a trip, or like gotten a grant for a trip. They're teachers, by the way, in case you didn't know. Have got this grant trip to go to Borneo for a whole year, which freaks out Dick pretty severely, because they're at this stage in the show, they're in a relationship. I think like he becomes obsessed with her like on day one of the show, and just season one is him wooing her into a relationship. And season two, I think they're together for most of it. But yeah. And yeah, over the like opening screams of Speak to Me before we go into Breathe, Mary lets out this laugh, which does sync up with the scream for me. Yes. So we have a wee sync, and I can at least give this a 1. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, we go into Breathe. And yes, Dick finds out, that she'll be away for a whole year, and he's very worried about this how this will affect his relationship with Mary. And Nina's like, well, you could propose to her, and that would keep her here. You know, she's going to need a bigger commitment. And again, like upsetting Gareth and worrying him even further, Dick says, if she was my wife, she'd be so busy cooking and doing chores, there'd be no time for Borneo. Yeah.
At least the show knew that was reprehensible. Knew like, oh, this guy doesn't get it.
Yeah. There's a lot of this guy doesn't get it. That was the working title for Third Rock from the Sun.
You know how many years it took me to realize why it was called Third Rock from the Sun? Like,
really?
I remember my dad sitting me down and having to explain it to me.
Oh my gosh. The messed up thing is well, no, they are all rocks, so it's okay. They're all big rocks, and they're sequentially placed in the solar system, Gareth. A distance away from the sun. And who's third? Well, it's bloody Earth. There you go.
Yeah, unless, all right, let's count moons. Let's assume none of the other planets' moons are in the way.
Count the moons.
Our moon,
yeah,
of which there is a dark side, could be third from the sun.
The issue is that everything orbits, right? So, like, moons could...
That is the issue.
Yeah, moons could throw this counting system out severely.
Yeah.
At any given time, because there'd be a shift, basically. How many moons does Venus have? I don't even know. Like, too many, probably. Or none at all?
Ugh.
Who knows? No one tell me.
Too many or not enough?
Yeah, bloody Venus, sort it out.
And Mercury? Oh.
It's not one.
Oh, you're going to be so mad. Venus and Mercury share one distinction. They have no moons.
All right, we're fine then. It is...
Yeah.
Depending on where our moon is and what side is the dark one, we're either the third or fourth rock from the sun. So, there you go. Depending on the day.
Weirdly, an episode of Third Rock from the Sun has never aired when we haven't been Third Rock from the Sun.
Well, there you go.
That's why you currently can't find it on any New Zealand streaming service. It's following the moon. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man. So, yeah, we go from here into, like, a scene interstitial, as sitcoms are wont to do. I like when, like, this and, like, That 70s Show and other things had these little, like, trippy graphics for the interstitials. But, like, every other show has, like, establishing shots of, like, locations or the city that it's set in. This one's like, space, which I like a lot. It's just
and
like...
space where these rocks are just getting up to mischief.
Yeah, it's good times. It fits the themes of the show, and I enjoy them immensely, you know? I feel like they're all, like, cut scenes from the intro that they just have on file.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like this part of 90s sitcom language, honestly, when this happens.
Now, speaking of scary... This is, of course, Halloween, so some scary news for you involving 90s sitcoms.
Okay.
That 70s Show spin-off, That 90s Show, has been announced.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Why, though? What on earth? That's just Friends, guys. That's what that show is. Oh, my Jesus. Like, is it going to... Is it just going to be making fun of the 90s in the same way that 70s Show is making fun of the 70s, I guess, but...
Yeah, and I guess it's been almost the same amount of time.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, I don't think that the 90s is nearly as rich an era as the 70s.
Nah.
Give me that 20s show. That's what I want.
Heck yeah.
When it's just like the Great Depression and like everyone's either like very rich or very poor. Come on. Give me that show.
Yeah. Red and Kitty Foreman are going to both be in it though, so
wow.
Same actors, same characters. Now they're dealing with their grandkids.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's no good. Jesus. Okay. Well, at least Red will be able to like stick his foot up people's asses once more, as he dreams to do. That's what I was looking forward to every
By
week.
the 90s, he got his wish.
Yes. He's just booting people and they're like, Granddad, you can't. It's the 90s. Oh, man.
Same producers, Third Rock from the Sun, That 70s Show and That 90s Show.
That makes sense, yeah.
Each other.
There you go. Yeah,
hence the trippy
interstitial. Yeah, it all makes sense. All right, so yeah, we go into we're still in Breathe, and the family are gathered, playing around a Go Fish at the table. I do like the family dynamic is them just like hanging out and playing cards. I think like on Third Rock from the Sun, they do a lot of like hanging out on their roof and in their car and playing cards. And that's sort of all they do. They just like pass the time.
So fun looking though.
Yeah, it looks good.
Kind of jealous. Yeah.
Yeah, their family dynamic is wild as well. It's so good. Like that, I think that it's part of the joke that they're all like disparate ages and like you looking at them wouldn't be able to figure out the family dynamic, which is addressed in this episode. So that's interesting. But but yeah, they're all playing Go Fish, and he says that he proposes the idea of proposing. He pops the popping of the question, and they all say that that's an awful idea because he's an alien. And yeah, they're like eventually that she is going to find out that he's an alien, And Sally threatens Mary, saying that they'd have to go for a walk if she found out in a threatening way. And it's sort of a catch-22 situation because Dick's like, oh, well, she won't find out. And then Tommy, the boy, JGL, says that it would be a marriage based on a gigantic lie. So it's like doomed if you do, doomed if you don't sort of situation. I feel like this like dynamic of keeping this huge secret but also wanting to enjoy a human relationship is just like one of the major through lines of the whole series. Like that idea. Yeah.
I guess they've got to introduce it now while they're getting all these fresh new 3D heads watching. They've got to make sure you've got to know what the show's all about.
I hope so. It's about casual sexism and human relationships.
Yeah.
There you go. We get the vocals of Breathe kicking in perfectly as we get the title card drop of Third Rock from the Sun, which is it's like a really fun intro. I love the theme song to Third Rock from the Sun. It's just this like sort of beach rock anthem.
Yeah.
It's great. It's funky. It's fun.
It's very hard to hold in your head, I think. I think it's like almost too good, but I'm for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I don't know why. It doesn't really, like, the music doesn't really fit the themes of the show, and that it's this, like, weird, bouncy... I guess, like, it's, like, a comedy kind of thing, but, like, it just doesn't seem like it should fit. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like Seinfeld having that insane, like, psychedelic, minimalist keyboard track the whole time.
What? There's minimalist keyboard through all of Seinfeld, and I've never noticed?
Well, you would have noticed. Sorry, that was just a terrible way to describe. So the main Seinfeld theme,
Yeah, we've got...
is a synthesized bass.
Yes.
And it was designed to be minimalist. Welcome to Song Exploder.
Okay.
It was designed to be minimalist because, like, the idea was it was going to play under Jerry's stand-up. So the guy was treating Jerry's stand-up as its own instrument,
Oh.
And he was like, right, so Jerry's there, he's providing the rhythm, I'm just going to play a counterpoint melody and keep it real simple, and just like, that's why it's just like clicks and pops and mouth sounds and then this bass. So it's minimalist, experimental in its own way. And then I think in the third season they add in like ladies going like, woohoo, during the song, and then immediately cut that out.
Wow, yeah, that's a huge misstep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Man, that's so strange. I'd love to seek that out, the woohoo cut of the Seinfeld theme.
I'm pretty sure the full theme, like all the music he wrote for it, has just been released to vinyl. So,
whoa, what?
Yeah,
what a bizarre
check that out,
vinyl
folks.
to own. I love that.
I'm very tempted.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, you just imagine, like, just putting that vinyl on and just trying to live your life. That's such a surreal thing. You'd just be waiting for the laugh track to kick in. Like, what the fuck? That's so strange. I love it. I did
try to get some work done listening to the extended version of the Seinfeld theme once, and
man,
it drove me nuts.
Yeah, you would. I would be driven nuts after one monologue's worth. I don't think I could do the Seinfeld bit. Like, if I was trying to do a stand-up set or something and someone was playing the Seinfeld synth bass in the background, I'd be, like, so distracted. I would, like, have a panic attack. Like, that's like...
I love that, though. The idea that someone's brought their own keyboard to, like, the classic and it's just like... Bump, down, bum, bum.
That's
while
fucked
someone's
up,
trying to be
man.
like, you guys on Tinder?
Just breaking down. Oh my god, that's the trial by fire of stand-up comedy. Trying to do it over the Seinfeld bass. Man. All right, we've
maybe it's like an It's Follows situation, as every stand-up like can pass on. If you make another stand-up comedian laugh with your heckle, you pass on the music curse.
Oh no.
That's why it's cursed Seinfeld for so long, is because he's famously very judgmental about his comedy. So he's like, you can't make me laugh by like heckling me. So he's always had to hear this music. And then like someone else is just safe from his curse.
All right. Yeah, he's the hero of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Falling on the sword of synth bass. Man, okay.
Yeah.
All this from the title card of Third Rock from the Sun. There you go.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So we cut back, and Mary and Dick are enjoying some fondue, firmly placing us in the 90s in the fondue resurgence of the mid-90s. Did you ever,
yes.
Have you ever done fondue in cheese form or chocolate form?
I believe I've done chocolate form,
Yeah.
not cheese form.
Right.
I was never a big dipper.
No?
Very proud of that pun, though.
Well,
I would, like, go straight just for the chips and eat them dry up until, like, my mid-20s. And then I was like, all right, let's get some hummus involved.
you're like, screw this elaborate fountain setup. I'm just going to eat some dry crusts. Just live my life. You're like a passing pigeon.
If there's going to be bread available, I'm taking it.
Fair enough. Just scatter some breadcrumbs on the ground for Gareth, and he'll pick them up.
I'll follow you all the way to the witch's house and eat your breadcrumbs.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to get him. It's the way to entrap Gareth.
Did you ever do the do?
I was about to make the same joke, but yes. I have done the do. I've done both varietals, and I can confirm that chocolate is better. But like the cheese and stuff, it depends on the cheese. The one that I had was at somebody's wedding, and it was just like it had been in operation for too long. I feel like there's a like a like death kind of knell for the fondue party where something gets like stuck in the fondue dip and it's just all over for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. I was just like, well, that's the end of that, I'm afraid. Dick does this great thing where Mary drops her like piece of crusty bread into the fondue and he reaches in to grab it with his hand, covering his hand in molten cheese, and then slams it into the ice bucket next to it and like smoothly transitions this into pouring a glass of wine. Which I just love, like, as a bit of physical comedy, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that is really good. Especially when Pink Floyd sing All You Touch during it as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like right at the tail end of Breathe, and yeah, Dick is saying that like he's like either about to propose or it seems like he is, but he's about to just be a bit worried about the whole situation, really. He's just too nervous and it's too soon. And he says, I may not be a rich man, I may not be a young man, I may not be a fireman. Which is just like, I love these little like non sequitur jokes that they do. It's very fun. And yeah, we go into On the Run and they're just like having a discussion about keeping secrets and about being worried about this trip to Borneo. And Mary says that she made the call before they were like seriously in a relationship. And so she's like upset or sorry about that, but she's still thinking about going through with it. And she's saying that their relationship is built on trust and that they shouldn't have secrets from one another. And she's like, oh, I'm really sorry that I kept this a secret. And Dick's like, oh, it's fine. You should have, there should be secrets in any good relationship. And she's like, no, that isn't the case. And then he says, you can have 5 little secrets if I can have one very big one. Which is just very funny.
Yeah, it does sound like something, like it's ridiculous, but it almost sounds like if you had friends who were like, how are they still married? That would be their secret. It's like, oh, we just have 5 little secrets each.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, they just have this weird secret deal. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, we're still On the Run and we go into the dream sequence.
Yeah, this is when this whole thing makes a drastic turn into being a Nine Inch Nails music video for the next 4 minutes.
Hell yeah, it's time. Now we're getting to the Oogie Boogie, listeners. You were wondering when it was going to kick in. It's right here.
Yeah. Up until now, this episode has been the equivalent of all your friends have been invited to a Halloween party, except for you, and you're just like watching whatever's on. Yeah. But don't worry, it's spooky too.
I've actually, by the way, I'm hearing an Oogie Boogie at my door right now. I'm going to have to pause this recording to let a cat in who is scratching at my door violently.
Okay.
Sorry.
This sounds like you're going to set me up and I'm going to hear like
just
scary
screams.
Sounds.
No.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Gareth, fill for time.
Hi there, it's me, Gareth, from Floyd. As promised, here's a bit we cut out of a different episode because it wasn't funny enough.
It's so weird listening to an audiobook instead of a podcast and just getting things like, my hands slammed violently together. Yeah. Like two
fish
boats unable to move their radar, and it's just like, whoa.
What?
People write different to how they talk.
I like that. It makes them sound like they missed each other completely. Oh, that's really good. I really like the idea of just using simile and metaphor, but using it completely wrong.
Back to the show.
All right, I've come back. I hope that was entertaining for you listeners. I'm sorry. What happened there was a cat. There was a cat at my door. I went out there. There was no cat at the door. I'm like, what? And then I see in the distance a cat looking at me very sheepishly and being like, yeah, I was just scratching to interrupt the podcast. Screw you, James.
Wow.
So you don't get to come in, cat. You've fluffed your lolly, as my parents would say.
You fluffed your lolly.
Have you never heard that? That might just be a Barron family thing. You fluffed your lolly. It's all over.
Yeah. I guess that's very suitable for a cat in Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have any lollies because there's cat fur all over them.
Cat fluff on the lolly, you know? You dropped it on the floor, and now no one gets a lolly. There you go. What were we doing? God. The dream sequence.
It's a Nine Inch Nails music video.
Yes.
Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie, here we go. We see Dick, like, sleeping in bed. You can tell he's having a dream because he's kicking his little hands like a dog, which I found
I loved that.
Fun little detail. This is where faux 3D section begins. As the dream starts off with him getting trapped in a cage, which falls from the sky. He's in the giant circular nightmare Filofax room from the end of the movie Brazil. And then, a big cage lands on him, trapping him there. And his colleagues are all dressed as like G-men or like...
Men in Black, kind of.
Men in Black agents, effectively, who have come to take him away to get interrogated. They're taking him to the truth room past like all these prisoners. And we get I think a direct shout out to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because there's a tiny little door that gets opened with a key, which turns into a big massive door on the other side, which I really enjoyed.
Heck yeah.
This is why...
It's also a little bit Roadrunner because you think it's going to be more of a door, more of a wall, more of a corridor. Third tries the charm, Blacklet. And then it's, he just hits like a flat surface.
A flat wall, with it painted on. The classic. Yep. The Wile E. Coyote trap. Love it. And they're like having a lot of fun with these dream sequences. Like, this is where all this money's gone into.
So these are directed by Phil Jono, who... I thought, like, watching this, he ended up directing every music video for Tool and Nine Inch Nails. But he did a lot of music videos for U2, but none of their most iconic ones. Although, you know their song One?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay, it's like, I think it's one of their biggest songs.
Okay.
But we're not U2 boys here.
This is a Pink Floyd podcast, Gareth. I'm barely expected to know Pink Floyd. I'm not
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound... of all the bands to sound snarky about as well, it's U2, like the band everyone kind of tolerates.
Yeah, they're fine.
So they, like, obviously this is how much money was in the music industry back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Is they got to make 3 different music videos for one because they didn't like the others. And the one they liked was the one that Phil Jono made, which was apparently just Bono hanging out smoking a cigar.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds
so he's directing these.
Yeah.
We're using all his U2 knowledge. And he was discovered by John Lithgow,
Whoa.
who worked with him in his early days.
That's cool.
And said, like, you've got to remember this director's name.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, shout outs to you, Jono. You've come a long way, I hope, since then. You know?
Yeah, he hasn't done too much since.
All right.
Still doing a couple, like, third single U2 songs.
All
But
right,
yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Fair play to you, you know?
Yeah, heck yeah.
The one thing I know about U2 is that on one of their tours, they emerged out of a giant egg that descended onto stage, and I find that to be the funniest thing in the world for a band to do. Like, that's just so funny. Like, I just want to hear Bono justifying that. It's like, yeah, we're going to emerge out of a giant egg. It's going to be brilliant. Like,
I know too much about U2, and one night that egg didn't finish and they couldn't quite get out for ages.
oh no!
Yeah.
Trapped in an egg of my own design. Amazing.
Yeah.
There's nothing more Pink Floyd than that. Than the band U2 trapped in their own egg. Like, that's just perfect.
It would be Pink Floyd who trapped them in there as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nick Mason's just jammed a drumstick into the mechanism, into the egg, closing it shut. He's barred it with like a flute or something.
Good luck with this one, boys. And he rides away on the rainbow that leads you back to the triangle on Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, and then they ascend into the sky. They're like, we did it first. Yeah. We emerged from this glass pyramid. All right. I don't know if they did. They should have.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're on their way to the truth room, and what is featured here is this horrible nightmare dentist/surgery chair with like stirrups and all kinds of like every implement you can imagine. It's like a mad scientist dream, this chair.
Yeah.
There's just like weird little prongs and things covering it. It's great. And yeah, he's like immediately strapped into it because of dream logic. And a dominatrix version of Mary appears from like a revolving wall, which is covered in like sex toys and stuff. It's real weird.
Yeah.
Like sex toys / torture implements, I think, is the idea.
So I had this burning desire over the last week to finally learn who Pinhead is and learn what Hellraiser is.
Okay. How did that go for you?
80s, 90s horror films. So I watched the 3 Hellraiser movies over the week. So I could not escape the idea that, like, Jane Curtin?
Yeah.
Is auditioning to be the next Pinhead.
She's a Cenobite.
Revolving around. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I mean, she makes a valiant effort here. She's got this sort of Cenobite vibe throughout this. And that she's like, she's dressed all in leather. She's not at all like a regular person. She creepily sings to Dick.
Yes.
Coming up in like not her voice. There's like a recording or something that she's just mouthing, which is very strange. She also claps her hands on cue with the crash sound on the run, which is a very Cenobite move. Yeah. It's very strange, though. Her singing straddling this chair backwards like she's like a teacher on the level. Like, very weird. But yeah. And then this like scene, this cuts to a dramatic cut because we're now in the same like horrible file effects room, but inside of like a 4-poster idyllic bed, the bed that Frodo wakes up in at the end of Lord of the Rings. And it's like Mary is now like Dick's wife, and she's got this wife haircut, I guess. And she's
the haircut they make you get on your wedding day. Yeah.
And she's speaking in this like sing-songy happy voice about how she knows that Dick is keeping something from her, but it's okay because they're so in love. And Dick reveals that he's an alien, and she's like, "Oh, what? That's wonderful, because I'm an alien too." And she's got this horrible alien bug face. Now, Gareth, comparison to the reveal of the alien faces from the last year, Gareth. Please tell me. Which is better?
Compare it to Drew Carey,
Yes.
or are we just talking every alien face we've seen over the last year?
Well, we could do that, but like I think I was specifically saying the Drew Carey episode from last year. Which is the more convincing alien?
So, as we know, I've been doing a good deep dive into horror films since over the last year. You know, I've come to understand more of the nature of fear on TV, and like a good trick is, I mean, it's the Jaws effect. You've got to let the imagination fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Like you've got to not see the shark, so you imagine something way worse. So this, only for a split second do you get to see her as an alien, and it's like a distorted lens, and it's, very quick. And then, taking a cue from Signs,
Whoa!
we then get to, like, you know how the scariest part of Signs is when Joaquin Phoenix is watching the aliens on TV, and you see him scared of them, and so your brain, your pack animal part of your brain goes like, I'm scared too. So this is the genius of Phil Jono, guy we just learned about.
Yeah.
It immediately cuts. You get a split second, so it's burned on your retinas, this alien face. We then immediately get John Lithgow scared. So,
Terrified.
Like, this man is a hero and he's feeling fear. We've got to feel the fear with him. So I'm putting it up. This is a true Oogie Boogie. What would you say?
Yeah. I'm big. Yeah, it was an Oogie Boogie for me as well. The warping effect really added to it. I was caught off guard. I was afraid, much like John Lithgow, our hero, my personal hero.
Yeah.
Very strange, very upsetting, and just a more convincing alien mask in general. I think it looks like it's more like insectoid than the mask from the Drew Carey episode. But those ones they look fake. It was just the Drew Carey thing just had an unsettling vibe throughout the whole thing, mainly because there was no laugh track, and that was the scary bit.
Yeah, that's right.
But I felt like the aliens themselves weren't scary. It was just the deconstruction of the sitcom ideal that was unsettling.
Yeah, that one, like, obviously could tear... Like, this one you had weeks and weeks of warning that something crazy was going to happen on Third Rock from the Sun. That's why you got your 3D glasses. Whereas there was no warning.
Months.
Yeah, no warning. You're just sitting down in your family lounge and all of a sudden Drew Carey's blasting.
Yeah. No, you got to warn me. If there's about to be blasting, you got to warn me. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no surprise blasts.
That's the official T-shirt for Sing Floyd. If there's about to be about to be blasting, you got to warn me. And it's a picture of Tom Hanks.
Yeah, and on the back it says it says soft foods only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. And the back picture is just all the goblins from Labyrinth as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
That's the perfect shirt that no one will be able to pass.
And it's all printed on that that weird polyester thing that means you can print really, really big. So it prints like sleeve to sleeve, so it's almost unreadable unless you're standing perfectly still. Yeah.
Yeah. The print of Tom Hanks's face covers the entire front of the shirt. Yeah, and the back is just tiled goblins.
Yeah.
There we go. We've done it. We've solved
Perfect.
merch.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, we have that scare, that Oogie Boogie, and then we go straight to another joyous scene of John Lithgow frolicking through a field of sunflowers. Very Mother 3. I don't know what this is all about, why this is here. I guess this is just classic dream imagery, but
yeah,
man, it was
again
it's
very
weird.
90s.
It's whiplash for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Very
but-
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, true. Yes, definitely that vibe. But yeah, so he opens. There's a door that descends from the sky, a large wrought iron door that he opens and walks through, and he's now on the moon, Gareth. Potentially, the dark side of. Hard to say. It's about to become
potentially
darker.
the third rock.
Yeah. The third or fourth rock from the sun, he is now walking. And there is a wall of jello which falls onto him like a wave. I feel like this is a call out to something else in the show. Maybe jello is like a horrible thing for these aliens. I don't really know what the deal is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a reference, but anyway, he's terrified of getting buried in jello, which I feel like this would have been a very expensive scene to make because there's a lot of jello and he does sure sink into it. Like, that's a big purchase at your local supermarket, Gareth. Man.
Yeah, because there's no other way to fake. You can't fake jello. That's the whole trick.
No.
That's why you don't see it often on TV.
That's real jello for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, him sinking, by the way, into this vat of jello is just perfect for the ominous chords of time.
Yeah.
That is being swallowed by jello. Like, that's the mixtape for it. Like, just dark chords, please.
Lo-fi Pink Floyd to relax or be swallowed by jello too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I'm swallowing jello, but I've been doing it wrong all these years. Instead, I should have been being swallowed by jello. Oh, man.
Too bad we've already decided on our t-shirt, because that could have been on it too.
That's even more confusing. Oh, my God. Yeah, so this is the end of the dream. We cut back to the regular 2D viewing, and the family members wake him up, and they assume that he's gone mad. They don't know what dreams are, and so they think he's just gone crazy because he had this horrible vision while he was asleep. And so they say, Tommy suggests that he go to a psychiatrist and get looked at, see if they can figure out what's going on. We go from here to the police station where Don and Sally are hanging out. A main man, Gareth, is in this movie. Wayne Knight playing Officer Don, Sally's beau and love interest. So good.
For the whole series as well.
Oh, yeah. They fall in love, like, real early. It's like, their whole thing is that it's, like, a way over-the-top, like, mega danger love. Like, dangerous romance.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, the drama of this, like, of this cop putting away bad guys. That's what she's really into. She thinks he's this, like, super macho guy, but he's actually this, like, schlubby cop. And that's the dynamic, whereas she's really the badass. Like, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's a good character trait.
Yeah, I can
fun.
watch a show of that.
Yeah. So yeah, they're hanging out at a police station, and we sort of get the like B plot for the episode, or like setting up the B plot for the next episode, really. She's asking if someone can be born evil or born bad, or can they just turn psychotic overnight? And Don's like, yeah, that happens. People just go crazy sometimes, being very unhelpful.
Yeah.
And yeah, he also is pointing out this wanted poster for a guy called Karl Borski, who's a criminal wanted in their state. And he's like, if I catch this guy, I'll be made detective. And it's like, he's trying to be like a noir kind of character. Yeah, and this is their dynamic for the whole show. So yeah.
I like it.
Meanwhile, Dick and Tommy are at the waiting room for the psychiatrist's office, and Dick briefly thinks that he's gone back in time as part of his madness because all the magazines are from 1994, which is a good bit and also a great fit for time because they're singing about one day you'll find 10 years have got behind you. So that's a sync. I'm happy about that, Gareth. Like,
yeah, that's good joke, good sync. You don't often get that
good
combo.
joke. Yeah, very rare. That Pink Floyd are in on the joke. I think that has never happened before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're hanging out at the psychiatrist's office, and Dick goes in to see the psychiatrist. And once he finds out that these like therapy sessions are confidential, he just spills the beans about basically everything. The fact that he's an alien, that he's worried about his marriage, and we get like a cutaway saying that like he's like time has passed and he's just said all kinds of crazy stuff. And he's talking about how Sally is his sister, even though they're like 20 years, there's a 20-year age difference. And he's like, oh, well, she could be my daughter, like, if that makes more sense. So that could be arranged, which is just so funny. He's like, yeah, we'll just switch it. It'll be fine. But yeah, the psychiatrist prescribes some pills to Dick, and Dick's like, well, that didn't make me feel any better. And then he just starts popping the pills and like, oh, of course these don't work either. Like, it's just expecting them to take effect like immediately.
Yeah.
And
which, to be fair, on my meds, it says never stop taking, which today I clicked was like, no, hold on. If I misread that, I'll just run out immediately.
They shouldn't print that on the bottle. That is that is a mistake.
That's just slightly wrong for what they make.
Go, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm trying to think of a better, more suitable way to refer to that. Like,
I feel like it's new. I feel like it should just be consult doctor before. You've got to find a way to phrase stop taking. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no end date on dosage. Done.
That's much cleaner, and no one's going to accidentally have the whole bottle of pills. Oh my god.
And then run to the doctors and be like, guys, I need more. I stopped taking.
Never Stop Taking is like a dark short story in of itself. That's like an Oogie Boogie for you. God.
Yeah, is that like, you know how they say the saddest short story is like 6 words long? Never Stop Taking is 3. So we dunk on Hemingway in this show, and we've done it again.
Yeah. You just say it twice, Hemingway. Then we're twice as good as you. Sync Floyd, twice as good as Hemingway.
Done.
There we go. Put that on the shirt. So he proceeds to go on a voyage to Trip Out City, basically, in his office. Just sitting there watching like a fun water thing, like an office toy. Have you had one of these, like either like a Newton's Cradle or like just an office toy that you have?
Mate, I had the exact thing that he's looking at. This like long rectangle full of water, but then there's a denser blue liquid that makes it sway around. And mine had little penguins that floated in it.
Yeah, March of the Penguins, baby. That's sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I shook it too much, though, over the years, and these weird bubbles started to appear. And once they started appearing, the whole thing just, like...
Oh, no.
Didn't work. It just kind of eventually they started mixing the liquids again, and it stopped being fun.
The penguins got trapped in the bubbles. That's not what you want. That's tragic. Oh, no. Oh, well. I haven't had any office toys or anything like that. I've got, like, all my workmates have, like, decorations for their desks, and mine's this, like, sparse expanse of nothingness. I feel like I should get something. Do you have a recommendation of any kind of toy I should get?
Man.
Because I don't know.
I kind of want you to have, like, an action figure of the Thing.
Oh, that's not bad. Just a Cronenberg on my desk, and everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah.
James is scary. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
They made action figures of that guy, the, like, kind of just office worker in Avatar.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
What was his name? He's the guy who was also in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think. But just, like, the most normal guy. And it's just him in a suit. It'll be so funny to have an office worker toy in your office.
Yes, that would be good. Just the title character, the lead character from Office Space in his office space.
Yes.
Yeah. If I could have like a tiny door, I think I would. That would be a good one. Just a very small door that I could unlock with a key. In this episode. And everyone would be like, where does that door go, James? I'm like, what door? What are you talking about? That'd be fun.
Yeah. It's got to be a conversation piece. That's the trick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you want them to be, right? These decorations. So he's tripping out, and we cut back to the police station where Sally has caught this Carl Borski guy and trapped him in the shopping cart because she just ran into him at the supermarket and brought him to the police station because she's like ruthlessly efficient. Don has been like undermined by his girlfriend. He feels like he's lesser of a man because he wasn't the one to catch this criminal, and he feels like he won't be made detective now, basically, because his girlfriend did it. Oh no! But yeah, we go into. I've actually skipped a bit. I've screwed up. Because
we did get too distracted by the toys that we forgot to talk about the scene that happens around them.
Yeah, whoops. I got distracted by my office toy and forgot to talk about it.
Maybe you shouldn't get an office toy. You might forget to work.
No, that would be bad. Don't listen to this, boss. I won't get an office toy. It'll be fine. So we'll cut back. Mary is coming into the office and saying like she's changed her mind about going to Borneo, and like because Dick is tripping out, he doesn't care either way. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm so happy. He's in a state of like perpetual bliss, and she's like, well, fine, fuck you, I will go. Because like he's treating it very blasé, basically saying that like this relationship isn't nearly as serious as she thought it was. So yeah, she's very upset. Again, setting up for a finale that we're not going to cover.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's still tripping balls when we return home, and the family is again playing Go Fish. I love that they're still like they just did this again, and they're worried that his mental state is getting worse and worse. And so they ask Carey, the communications guy, to contact the Big Giant Head, which is another recurring thing. The Big Giant Head is a mission lead, I guess, the like overseer of the mission back in space that they contact throughout the show, and is like wired directly into Harry's brain.
Yeah.
So he like acts really weird as like a phone piece whenever he speaks to the Big Giant Head, which is very fun. It's a good bit.
I remembered it being a little more like over the top, but in this one he just freezes and stays there for ages, which I also quite loved.
He's put on hold, which I found relatable as a call center man. But yeah, he was he's put on hold because there's no one to help him, and so again we're left like with drama here.
Yeah.
And then we go into our second and final 3D dream sequence, a Nine Inch Nails video. This one is, I guess, is not really Nine Inch Nails-y. This is more like a Italian 1940s film noir, is how I would describe this.
A bit of Madonna in the 90s, like Frozen by Madonna. I had a bit of a vibe from.
all the
But that could
cameras
have
are
just been
very
because they
old.
used that technology. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like it's Sally. She's getting off a plane, walking down the stairs to the tarmac, and being photographed by a reception of paparazzi, and also inexplicably a chef holding a pizza, which is so strange and so funny. Like I don't know who thought that was like. I bet someone in the writer's room like threw that in there and was like, yeah, have a chef there. And they just don't address it at all, but I found it hilarious. I was like,
It's probably the same writer showing up dressed as the chef, like, hey guys, I brought the chef costume. They're like, oh, Danny, we didn't think you were really going to do this.
the weird thing is that like all the food stuff comes later. Like it's just the chef holding a full pizza, no pizza box or anything, just offering it to her as she gets off the plane. Hilarious. I love that.
Yeah,
energy.
and he's in every shot of the paparazzi as well. He like gets in there, even in the corner, his pizza's still there.
So good. I love it. I don't know what it means in the context of the dream, but I love that it's there. Anyway, we see her in like a perfume ad, effectively walking through a snowy forest, which is revealed as we zoom out to be her trapped within a sugar container for tea, which is it's artsy, but weird. And yeah, so she's pouring herself the sugar into the tea as she sits at this like outdoor dining table. And in subtitles, she asks for the world to be brought to her on a plate. And she's delivered the rotating Earth from the intro of the show. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the same graphic, just planted into this scene. It's in full color, by the way. The rest of this is all black and white, but there's like a full color rotating globe that she takes a bite out of, like a giant apple. I just think this is a sweet visual. I was like, really into
cool.
this.
And it is working so well to Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd. Like,
oh yeah,
I am
this
seatbelted in for it.
Yeah, this whole dream sequence is over Great Gig, and it's sweet. Yeah. Having the Earth delivered to her on a silver platter, I think is she's like enjoying the fruits of Earth, I think is the idea. Anyway, this is me analyzing a dream in a TV show. Nobody wants to hear that. But yeah, it's a sweet visual. And then we see Don, a boy, Wayne Knight, in this like pristine white suit, and he's been like coiffed. He's not wearing glasses, which is unusual. He's looking suave as fuck, and I love this. This is maybe my favorite Wayne Knight appearance in anything.
Yeah.
It rules, because he just like is this like Fabio-like lover to Sally in this dream, and they have this tango dance together over completely unsuitable music in the show, but we're getting Great Gig, and that works so much better. This like dramatic black and white dance to Great Gig, real nice.
Yes.
But it's interrupted when Sally plucks a feather from Don's chest, and she tears open his shirt, and he reveals that he's secretly a giant chicken. His chest is covered with feathers, and I think it's like in both physical and metaphorical sense is he a giant chicken in this dream. But yeah, it's very dramatic because the whole room is now filled with feathers as she shoots him with a revolver, and it like blasts him clean in two. She starts blasting. Yeah, and it's just the revolving shot of Wayne Knight shot through the chest as feathers fill like a Greek Parthenon. Like, what the fuck? No. Yeah. What a visual. Mind-blowing. I loved it. I loved it so much.
At this point, the song has changed to Money, but it still works really well.
We get the cha-ching of Money as she shoots him. Which rules as well. So she wakes up in a panic, she thinks that the madness is like passed on to her, and she's torn her pillow, so all the feathers are flying around her room as part of her dream, obviously. And so she runs into the lounge, and Harry is still on hold. Dick has returned from a previous scene with a fish, because they were playing Go Fish, and he left, and they said, "Oh, I think I will go fish." And he just came back with a fish. So there you go. So Tommy's like the only one really here, and he says, leaving this episode on a cliffhanger, he says, "And then there were two." And we go into the credits. There's a credit to a special thanks to Randy Newman, sir, not appearing in this episode. I think he's in the next one.
Okay.
As a special guest, but we don't get him. There's no Newman for us. There's other Newman, but not this Newman.
That's in Seinfeld Newman.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you. What did you think, and how did it sink, Gareth?
What did I think, and how did it sink? I'm pretty happy. I feel like if they had kept this momentum going for a whole film, would be in the 7s, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
Which, I don't know if you remember, but our strict rating system for Halloween random episodes of 90s TV shows involving aliens described hidden as people is, of course, to rank things out of 5 pumpkins.
That's right.
So it's a strong 3.5 pumpkins from me.
Yeah, I'm happy with that number of pumpkins. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd just stack them up, I reckon. Yeah, 3.5 full-blown pumpkins. And the half pumpkin is just a smaller pumpkin, I think. It's in this instance. We just couldn't find a fourth pumpkin big enough.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that. Nice.
cool.
Closing remarks? Any further thoughts, Gareth?
Oh, what do you reckon's going to happen in part 2? Like, the listeners will never find out from us. They'll have to go down to the library and get this DVD themselves.
I think
what do you reckon?
We'll get a couple more dream sequences for each of the other characters. For Tommy and for Harry, we'll both have dreams. And then after that, I think that they're just like, they get taken to a mental asylum at the end of the episode, and that's the season finale. They're trapped in an asylum, and they have to get broken out by a team up of Officer Don and Mary have to come and rescue them as a family. And that's where we pick up in season 3. That's my theory.
Whole season 3 is a breaking out of an asylum drama. Season 4, back to normal.
Yeah, and Randy Newman plays a doctor. He's there. He runs the asylum. And is also an alien? What?
Yes, he's like from a rival planet. So therefore,
Piano playing alien. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, lock it in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we have any other special things that we need to do to fill time? I feel like I prepared a thing because you wanted me to do it.
Yes, please. So, after the roaring success, I assume that episode hasn't come out yet, of what horror villains would be in a Pink Floyd cover band, I gotta know, on this All Hallows Eve, James, what 90s sitcom characters would you put in a Pink Floyd cover band?
Okay, so I thought about this for a little bit, and I acted on instinct. I've got so on lead guitar and vocals we've got French Stewart from Third Rock from the Sun.
Very nice.
He's headlining. He's our boy in charge. All right. He's got the weird vibe, and he's here to lay it down. All right. We've got on the bass, Gareth. We've got We've got the character Chef Rudy from the series Mum, who is coincidentally played by French Stewart.
Okay. On the bass?
He's on bass as well.
Sounds like
he's here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're detecting the theme of my
I have no idea.
of my lineup, because on the drums we've got Principal Cameron from the middle, also played by French Stewart, but this time he's a teacher.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and finally on the keyboard, it's Ross from Friends. Here he is. Oh, Ross Geller. Here he is.
Yeah. Maybe doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this band.
Yeah, because I just know he has the keyboard competence, mainly. But yes, so French Stewart, Ross Geller. Not even the actor, just Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my lineup.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. That's all right. See, now I'm just embarrassed to go with my my list. Because mine was also just four French stewards.
Oh, no.
No.
Yours will actually be
right.
good, I'm sure.
I don't know. Okay. So, on the guitar and lead vocals, a man who... He knows how to get a crowd going, specifically if that crowd is from Cleveland. He knows that Cleveland rocks, but he's also got a good, like, improvisational side to him, like a lot of experience in that, so he could do the Pink Floyd jams. It's, of course, Drew Carey from The Drew Carey Show.
Perfect.
Lead vocals, guitar.
He's a headliner.
Thank you, yeah. On the keys is Steve Urkel. I thought, he could... Yeah? Maybe he's like, you know how Steve Urkel would get his head hit and he'd become like a cool guy? Maybe he's cool Steve Urkel some of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then maybe he goes back to normal for his like big synth solos.
I think he's like Steve Urkel when that happens, right? When he's cool.
Ooh.
I can't remember. It's been a long time.
That sounds good. Yeah. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Now, on the drums, and this is controversial. I'm going to need your opinion. We obviously need someone who's going to bring, like, the power and steel. He's going to bring something kind of, you've got to say it, like a masculine energy for the Pink Floyd drums. Like, if you're going to follow Nick Mason, you got to do this. But you want someone who knows, like, he's inventive. He knows how to make stuff as well. So I've got, on the drums, Tim the Tall Man Taylor. Now, do you trust... Do you trust Tim the Tall Man Taylor for your drummer? Or is he too much of a wild card? Does it have to be Al from Tall Time?
It depends on where in the episode we're taking Tim from. Like, if he's promo fresh off Tool Time, this boy's a mess. He is not only grappling with the horrible display on Tool Time where somebody gets badly hurt, but also with his personal life. And I don't think that that's the man you want. But if he's learned a valuable lesson at the end of the episode, that's perfect. That's exactly where you need him. He's consulted Wilson, the neighbor, and now he's ready to perform.
Actually, forget Tim, forget Al. We need a man who knows, like... We need a man who knows wood, like drumsticks. So what about the man who's always hiding behind wood? It's got to be Wilson, the neighbor, on the drums.
That's great. Just a wall of drums concealing his face.
Yeah.
Damn.
Offering up wisdom to Urkel and Drew. Yeah, sorry, Tim.
Yeah. You're cut. Wow.
Oh. Now, on the bass, I was going to give it to a man who has a beautiful voice, like long fingers, and knows, like, you know, he can sing, he knows songs. I was going to give it to Sideshow Bob. But I was worried because Sideshow Bob, obviously, he's a criminal, you know? He also, like, we can't have that.
You know?
What if Bart Simpson wants to go to the concert? So I had to go for someone...
You wouldn't be able to.
Exactly. Someone who brings that perfect voice, but, you know, respectable member of society, and also knows how to be on the radio. So that's why Frasier Crane is on the bass.
Yes. Oh my God. Frasier on the bass. Get out.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God.
He's listening.
I'm surprised he's not on
lines.
vocals, honestly, with that smooth operator radio voice. Like,
yeah.
But like, I love him on the bass. He has a bass energy, much more so. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, maybe he sings all his bass lines.
Whoa, that's good. Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes. I was about to launch into a Frasier Crane impression, but I got too nervous, and now I'm not going to.
Oh,
sorry, audience.
Halloween.
Oh, another time. Oogie boogie. Oh, nice. That's a great lineup.
Oh, all right. Well, you know, we've safely carried your soul across the river of Oogie Boogie, scary Halloween time.
Yeah.
There's only one last place we've got to dock this boat real quick, and that is to talk about next week. What are we gonna be bringing you guys? And it's I believe it's my pick, right?
Yeah, it is. Go ahead,
sure.
Please.
Okay.
Take the floor.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, we've got to get back to our roots. We've got to be talking about Pink Floyd. Now, fun fact about this album is really what brought them to the next level, you know. They were rookies. They were in training, then they were rookies, and this made them into champions. In fact, it made them go ultimate. It made them go mega. You know, and it was embracing new technology, you know. They changed into digital champions. And if you ask me, they saved the digital world. And what better way to honour that than sync Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon with the Digimon movie?
Hell yes. We are going back to our roots. Back to the internet, Gareth. Oh, yeah. I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic to talk about that next week. Hell yeah. Perfect.
It'll be the second movie we've synced where the original soundtrack contains Kids of America and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Perfect.
And maybe the second, or maybe there's been more where the soundtrack also features All Star by Smash Mouth. So,
wow.
Get ready for us to not hear those.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about them anyway next week on Sync Floyd. Catch us at Sync Floyd Pod on Twitter, Gmail, all the socials. We're there. Get at us on TikTok. Get at us on the Bitcoin mining forums. Get at us on the dark web. We're there.
Okay, you're running all of these.
I am.
Yeah, I don't know how to run any of this.
Okay, just as well. Oh my God. I don't want to make TikTok. Never mind. I take back everything I said. But please do talk
Unless
to us.
we just put the whole podcast up in 1 minute chunks on TikTok. Like, from episode 1, first minute, and it just keeps going.
Wow. That we just released, like, how long are TikToks? How can they be as long as you want? Is there an upper limit?
I think a minute max. Minute max.
Minute max. Okay, so we just release a minute every day of our show.
Yeah. With that TikTok robot voice at the end going like and subscribe for part 18.
Oh my God. Part 257 of episode 1. Oh my God.
And if an episode finishes halfway through the minute, we just start the next one. So it starts getting really off, like where each one begins and ends. It could be a beautiful bit of performance art that really fits the show.
Oh, what isn't a beautiful bit of performance art that isn't on this show, Gareth? We are just
That's true.
ahead of our time. By about 100 years. All right, that's an Oogie Boogie, and I've been James Barron. I don't know.
I've been Gareth Blackler, I think.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Dun-dun-dun-dun.